This week on ANN, Don Schneider, former president of the North American Division, passes to his rest.
Adventists in the Inter and South American Division pass out millions of copies of Hope for the Family.
And an Adventist church in Angola studies the Bible with a Pentecostal church with amazing results.
These stories and more coming up.
Thank you so much for joining us this week.
First in the news, Don C. Schneider, former president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in North America, passed away the morning of May 23 in Burleson, Texas.
He had been living with Marty, his wife and partner in ministry, for almost 50 years in Cleburne, Texas. He was 76 years old.
Schneider served as the North American Division president for 10 years. He was elected to the office in 2000 at the General Conference session in Ontario, Canada, after serving as Lake Union Conference president from 1994 to 2000.
While Schneider was president in North America, he hosted Really Living, a weekly television program on the Hope Channel where he presented inspirational stories about people who have a living relationship with Jesus.
Upon retiring from the North American Division, Don and Marty immediately went to help out at the Denver South Seventh-day Adventist Church in the U.S. state of Colorado. The church's pastor, however, left, and so they agreed to stay for a year. They remained for almost 3 years, with Don and Marty serving as pastors together.
Schneider began his ministry in the Arkansas-Louisiana Conference. In 1969, the Schneiders were called to pastor in the Minnesota Conference. From 1970 to 1977, Schneider was a departmental secretary in the Oklahoma Conference, the Oregon Conference, and the Central Union Conference.
He became Wyoming Conference president in 1977, New Jersey Conference president in 1978, Arkansas-Louisiana Conference president in 1982, Rocky Mountain Conference president in 1985, and Northern California Conference president in 1989, serving there until Schneider joined the Lake Union in 1994.
Schneider approached life and ministry with gusto. He said, "I'm a person who loves Jesus, has a great time with life, enjoys every day." He said this in an interview in 2000 with Adventist Review editor William Johnson.
Schneider is survived by Marty, daughter Carol, son Don Jr., daughter-in-law Dorothy, and sister Diane Ketchum.
For more information about memorial services and where to send condolences, visit nadadventist.org.
This week we have stories from massive book distributions in both the Inter and South American divisions. The distribution was part of the initiative Impact Hope in the states of Rio de Janeiro, Minas Gerais, and Espírito Santo in Brazil. Approximately 2.3 million copies of the book Hope for the Family and 700,000 magazines with the same title were distributed during the weekend. The South American Division has more.
Olá, a partir de agora você acompanha os destaques do Impacto Esperança nos estados do Rio de Janeiro, Minas Gerais e Espírito Santo. Nesses 3 estados serão distribuídos aproximadamente 2.300.000 exemplares do livro Esperança para a Família e também 700.000 revistas que trazem a mesma temática do livro, mas numa linguagem voltada para o público infantil. Em alguns lugares, essa entrega ocorreu de forma inusitada. As famílias que passaram pelo Horto do Fonseca, em Niterói, foram convidadas a fazer um piquenique. E, além do livro, elas ainda ganharam um lanche dos voluntários. Já quem passou pelo centro da capital mineira na manhã deste sábado encontrou um caixa eletrônico inusitado. É que, em vez de dinheiro, o caixa emitiu livros para quem teve curiosidade de manusear a máquina. Mas, claro, ninguém precisou pagar nada por isso. E sabe aquelas máquinas que ficam em metrôs e aeroportos com livros à disposição para as pessoas pagarem o quanto elas acham que aqueles livros valem? Pois é, voluntários pegaram uma máquina dessa e levaram para o centro de Cariacica e de Vila Velha, com livros à disposição para que pudessem ser retirados gratuitamente. E como foi o impacto aí na sua região? Conta pra gente através das nossas redes sociais. Até a próxima!
More than 200,000 Seventh-day Adventists in Chiapas, Mexico, distributed 2 million copies of the book Hope for Today's Families to homes, businesses, and people in public places on Sabbath, May 11. The book highlights biblical passages that strengthen families in modern society. It is the first time that such a large quantity of missionary books were distributed in a single day in Chiapas. The initiative was part of Impact Hope. Members from around All levels of the church distributed books as they visited government offices, the police department, and military areas, highlighting the importance of fostering strong families to keep peace and social stability. President of the Adventist Church in Chiapas, Ignacio Navarro, visited State Governor Rutilio Escandon and his family to emphasize the church's commitment to strengthening families in the state through various community outreach initiatives and activities. Governor Escandon thanked church leaders and members for their valuable contribution to society and affirmed his government's trust and support in the Seventh-day Adventist Church and its positive programs. The plan next year for Chiapas is to distribute 2 million missionary books again. Hope for Today's Families is the missionary book voted by the Adventist World Church to be a witnessing tool to strengthen families. The book is authored by Willie and Elaine Oliver, Family Life Ministries directors for the Adventist World Church. For more information, visit interamerica.org.
Also through the initiative Impact Hope in South America, the president of Uruguay, Tabaré Vázquez, received a copy of the book Hope for the Family from the leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the country. The purpose of the visit was to present the work done in the community by the Adventist Church in Uruguay, including the Impact Hope Reading Project, which takes place every year in the month of May. During the meeting, Vázquez thanked the Adventist leaders for the books and expressed his appreciation. I understand that the family is the basis and the sustenance of any society. It is the family that can give us all the elements so that through education we receive and complete the teachings of schools and colleges. We can achieve a better quality of life for all citizens and a peaceful and comfortable coexistence for all. The leaders of the Adventist Church in Uruguay were present at the meetings. In addition, they gave him health, literature, and the great controversy. In Uruguay, members will pass out 100,000 copies of Hope for the Family and millions more throughout South America. This material shares several essential aspects for successful family and interpersonal relationships. There are hundreds of similar stories to this one and that you have just heard from the Impact Hope Weekend. To hear more of these stories, visit noticias.adventistas.org.
The Los Angeles Adventist Educational Center in Chile recently inaugurated a modern science laboratory for students of mathematics and robotics in the south central region of Chile. The event was attended by educational authorities and administrators of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in southern Chile and the director of education of the Mario Veloso Foundation. The laboratory will provide students with hands-on learning through experiments and create a highly motivated atmosphere for learning. The Adventist Church in South America sent this report.
Fue inaugurado el nuevo Laboratorio de Ciencia, Matemática y Robótica del Centro Educacional Adventista de Los Ángeles a nivel básico. El evento contó con la presencia de autoridades educacionales, administradores de la Iglesia Adventista del Séptimo Día de la zona centro-sur de Chile y el director de educación de la Fundación Mario Veloso. Esta conquista es un hito para la educación adventista en la región, como dio a conocer Mauricio Comte, rector de la Universidad Adventista de Chile.
Creo que es un motivo de mucha alegría y de orgullo para nuestro sistema educacional adventista contar con estas dependencias en una de nuestras importantes instituciones educacionales y a través de ellas también se puedan acercar al Creador. Felicitaciones a esta institución, felicitaciones a sus líderes, a los administradores de este campo y que esta iniciativa pueda ser seguida e imitada por otras instituciones y por favor cuenten con el apoyo de la universidad también en esta tarea.
Una de las alumnas del CEALA expresó su experiencia al ocupar los equipos de laboratorio.
A mí me tocó observar con el microscopio moscas, gusanos, grillos. Opino que está muy bien para que podamos estudiar más y saber muchas cosas más sobre la ciencia o la naturaleza.
Por su parte, el director general del centro educacional manifestó su gratitud por esa realización y resaltó el deseo de crecimiento que tiene la institución.
Queremos agradecer a Dios por el hermoso privilegio que nos da de ver cómo un sueño se concretó. Esta institución es una institución que está abierta para poder crecer no solamente la formación de nuestros jóvenes, sino para que sea una institución modelo de nuestra educación adventista en Chile. Estamos contentos, agradecidos por la presencia de cada una de las autoridades, de nuestros invitados especiales, de las autoridades públicas, de nuestros colegas directores, de los miembros del personal que participaron en esta reunión. Gracias a Dios por todo y será hasta una nueva oportunidad.
El laboratorio proporcionará a los alumnos un aprendizaje práctico a través de los experimentos ocupando los equipos y también permitirá que el trabajo escolar se desarrolle en un ambiente de gran motivación, no solo para los estudiantes, sino también para los docentes.
La experiencia que tuvimos esta mañana fue impresionante, cómo en pocos minutos los chicos, teniendo este material concreto, fueron capaces de aprender algo que a lo mejor en una sala de clases hubiese demorado 1 o 2 días.
Así es, en este sentido pedagógico, con el laboratorio en mano, los estudiantes tendrán acceso a un material concreto que les ayudará a comprender la ciencia de una manera más didáctica, potenciando sus habilidades y desarrollando pequeños proyectos en robótica. Además, se espera que este establecimiento educacional siga creciendo a la altura de los avances tecnológicos con los lineamientos y filosofía planteados por la Iglesia Adventista del Séptimo Día con la educación adventista. Este fue el informe para Revista Nuevo Tiempo desde el Centro de Producciones Nuevo Tiempo Chile.
Leaders from Zayovsky Adventist University in Russia used the Revelation 14:6 call to preach to every language and people as the theme for this year's Deaf Ministries Conference.
More than 90 delegates took part in the Congress, including guests from neighboring countries and representatives of churches from the entire Eurasia division of the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
All the participants came to learn and share experiences to develop a deaf ministry in their city. This is the third gospel forum for the deaf in Western Russia.
During the Congress, participants decided to open a sign language interpreter school at the university. At the announcement of the new school, 8 people immediately enrolled.
Wow. In addition, 12 delegates agreed to take part in the filming of a new program on the Nadezhda TV channel, which helps sign language interpreters learn Sabbath school lessons. Translations of Sabbath school lessons into sign language will expand the channel's audience.
Congress participants shared their experiences of serving, how to teach Bible truth to the deaf, create clubs for the hearing impaired, and lead out in cooking classes, health groups, and summer Christian camps. The next annual camp for the deaf will be held this summer in Yalta, Crimea.
Coming up, an entire Pentecostal congregation becomes Seventh-day Adventist.
But up next, ADRA Croatia runs to raise money for Kenya.
It all started in a small upper room with humble, fervent prayer. Threatened by the authorities and banned from preaching, the church prayed, and 2 men witnessed with great power and grace. And people prayed everywhere in one accord, in repentance, with confession and humility, and the lives of people were changed. 2 men started out on a missionary journey that would turn the world as they knew it upside down. And the message went out to the world beyond. Corporate prayer helped a prisoner escape. A king requested that his people fast and pray, and the enemy was defeated. A battle won without the need to fight. Through a faithful servant and a young queen's faith and courage, a people were saved. Stories in the Bible showing the power of united prayer.
May I work in with you, young fella?
Yeah. Go for it.
That's the way you do it. Gotta put a little weight on it. But I'll put it back up here for you.
Welcome back.
Wearing running shirts with the ADRA logo and slogan, Justice, Compassion, Love, an ADRA Croatia team participated in the globally renowned humanitarian international Wings for Life World Run. Together, they ran a total of more than 141 miles in Zadar, Croatia.
Guided by a strong desire to participate in positive humanitarian initiatives within the community, ADRA Croatia, headed by its new director, Slavica Marcheta, gathered a team of volunteers for the run. They joined over 120,000 runners worldwide.
Money raised from the registration fees and donations goes directly to the Wings for Life, which finances scientific and clinical research intended to find a cure for spinal cord injuries.
This global humanitarian event united runners from 186 countries in 323 locations across the 72 countries. Together, they ran 747,681.042711 miles on behalf of those who can't run.
In Croatia, it was the 6th consecutive year that the race has been organized by the National Athletic Association. This year, a record-breaking 9,000 runners set off from the start line on the Liburnia coast in Zadar.
The focus for ADRA Croatia's humanitarian story this year was Mission in Action in Kenya, an orphan prevention institution and school founded by the Croatian-born Ivan Budulisa. ADRA Croatia recently organized several humanitarian projects and concepts to support this school.
MIA Kenya was written on the back of each shirts worn by ADRA runners.
The Wings for Life World Run is held simultaneously across all time zones. In Zadar, it started at 1 p.m., while in some other countries, the start is in the middle of the night, or in the evening, or early in the morning. Whether day or night, sun, rain, or snow, all run together at the same time across the world, sharing a unique experience.
Recently, Adventists in Angola met with members of a local Pentecostal church to study the Bible.
After learning about the Sabbath, the entire church decided to become Seventh-day Adventists.
The Adventist Church in Angola sent this report.
Pentecostal Church, now Adventist. In Mungo Municipality in Angola, a whole congregation of about 120 people that belonged to a Pentecostal church has now become Seventh-day Adventist. This happened last Saturday on the 18th of May 2019. It is worth mentioning, however, that the transition of the congregation happened in 2 phases. About 6 months ago, 47 were baptized by Pastor Calais, and last Sabbath, 55 more were baptized. The village headman for this area was married to 2 wives. After receiving the light, he divorced his second wife and remained with his first wife. The 3 were among those that got baptized. According to Teresa Kisiko, what convinced us was that the Adventist brothers showed us that Saturday was the Sabbath through the Bible. When we saw that what they said was written, it motivated us to change. The Southwestern Angola Union Women Ministries Department came together to support and welcome the brethren to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The women donated clothes and food around the community. From now onwards, the church will congregate on Saturdays.
Coming up, Victoria Turrentine is here to tell you how you can follow along with the Adventist Church during World Refugee Sabbath.
But up next, Adventist Mission has a story of a mobile clinic bringing healing to those in Mexico.
We may look, pray, read, think, worship, sing, and share differently, but we all look forward to the Sabbath. And we all look forward to the future when Jesus will come again. With this message in mind, we arrived at a core component for a new identity system, the creation grid, a simple 7-column structure for layout. The grid is a reference both to the prophetic timeline as well as to the creation week that culminated in the 7th-day Sabbath. The first 6 columns of the grid belong to the designer. It can be filled with anything: text, images, illustrations, patterns, and logos. But the 7th column, the Sabbath column, does not belong to them. It is meant to be different and special. Regardless of what or where you are designing, you can always find information to help you communicate that we are all Seventh-day Adventists.
Welcome back.
A mobile clinic in Mexico is the perfect way to bring health care to those who can't visit a regular doctor.
Let's go to Villa Hermosa to join one of those bus stops.
Adventist Mission has more.
In the city of Villahermosa, Mexico, a bus serving as a mobile clinic winds its way through the neighborhoods, giving free medical care, medications, and health advice to the people. The mobile clinic is a mission initiative of the Southeast Adventist Hospital, which has served the people of Mexico for decades. This unique ministry not only offers physical restoration to patients, but also shares spiritual restoration in the hope of Jesus.
This is a mobile clinic which allows the hospital to help the community. We provide gynecology, pediatrics, general medicine, traumatology, and especially dentistry. We serve the community because we believe it's part of our mission, and it's what Jesus did.
Today, the bus comes to a suburban neighborhood in Villahermosa. The people in this area have very little access to basic health care. The nearest hospital is too far, and most of the people are unable to pay for an appointment or a clinical exam. Many are also not familiar with healthy habits and lack nutritious diets. So the Adventist doctors come by on the mobile clinic and do what they can to give the best possible treatment to everyone. Around the world, medical missionaries are using Christ's method of ministry to mingle with people and minister to their needs. This allows them to gain the confidence of the people, many of whom have a desire to learn more about the gospel. The difference that medical missionaries make in their lives is remarkable. Please pray for people in Mexico to find healing and hope in Jesus. And thank you for your support of Mission.
Watch this and other mission stories online by visiting AdventistMission.org, then click on videos at the top.
The Seventh-day Adventist World Church celebrates World Refugee Sabbath on June 15, ahead of World Refugee Day on June 20.
Victoria Turrentine is here to tell you how you and your local Adventist church can follow along with us on June 15 and support people who have been forced out of their homes.
On June 15th, the Seventh-day Adventist Church will honor World Refugee Sabbath, reminding members that an attitude of hospitality is biblical and can have surprising and positive rewards. This year focuses on hospitality in other countries to tell stories of courage and hope to refugees. Today, 20 people per minute are still forced to escape terror and flee to another country. The Trans-European Division, East Central Africa Division, ADRA Europe, and ADRA International has teamed up to bring hope to refugees. They have created a documentary that will tell stories of these refugees crossing Europe from Finland to Spain. The video will be available to watch on Sabbath afternoon on June 15th at 4 o'clock p.m. on our Facebook page and at Seventh-day Adventist Church and on adra.eu/refugees. You can also check out the Facebook page of the Trans-European Division of Seventh-day Adventists, TED, to see how they are helping people around the world. You can also ask questions and someone will get back with you as soon as they can. You can share graphics on your social media pages to provide the Trans-European Division reminding others to show love and bring hope to strangers. This day will focus on destination countries, the lands where refugees are settling or want to settle. In connection with World Refugee Sabbath, ADRA is seeking to inspire members and communities to sign the petition, encouraging the development of initiatives that will give every single child the right to an education, including refugees. You can sign the petition at nschool.adra.org. You too can give support to your local community and help refugees find hope by connecting with your church and division. You can share pictures on your social media page of you and your friends helping refugees and use #WithRefugees. Never forget to show hospitality to strangers because you never know who you are entertaining, if it's an angel or not. Stay blessed and stay safe.
And finally, for today's episode, let's turn to David Trim for a look at Adventist history.
This week, we hear about a missionary couple who make a huge difference in South America.
This week in Adventist history, we focus on one forgotten but indefatigable missionary couple who laid the foundations for church growth in Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. On May 31, 1903, Richard A. Hayden was born in Los Angeles, California. He attended Walla Walla College and began evangelistic work in Washington State in 1928, when this photo of him was taken. In 1930, however, Dick Hayden and his new wife Georgiana, who was known as Jo, went to serve as missionaries in the Inca Union of the South American Division. For their first 3 years, they worked at a mission station in Iquitos, in Peru's remote Amazonian region. And here you see Dick and Jo with their first baptismal class, which numbered 25 people. In 1933, the Haydens moved up to the Andes Mountains to serve in the Lake Titicaca training school. But 2 years later, Richard was appointed to serve as educational and missionary volunteer secretary, director, as we would say today, of the Bolivia mission. This photograph was taken there in 1936. It shows Dick, Jo, and their 2 sons who had both been born in Peru. In 1940, Dick was elected director, president in today's terms, of the Amazon mission in Bolivia, and worked there for 8 years. From 1948 to 1958, the Haydens went back to Peru, serving at the Inca Union headquarters. Dick led the education, home missions, and Sabbath school departments. For 2 years, Dick served as president of the Ecuador mission, but then it was back to Peru as first president of the North Peru mission. He served in that capacity for 4 years, 1961 through 63, before stepping down to departmental director in order to allow an indigenous leader to serve as president. For the Haydens' last 4.5 years in Peru, Richard remained in the North Peru mission, leading the lay activities, Sabbath school, and radio and television departments. On April 30, 1968, in a letter confirming his retirement to the General Conference, Hayden wrote, "Mrs. Hayden and I have been laboring here in the Inca Union since 1930, and it is hard for us to leave our many friends here. We are glad, however, to see these younger Peruvian men take over." Richard Hayden died in 1990, aged 87. Jo followed him 6 years later.
Thanks for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We'd love to hear from you. Send us your feedback and tell us how your church is making a difference in its community.
Be sure to capture plenty of video footage and photos, then write up a summary of the event's important details. And feel free to send full video reports as well.
You can reach us by sending an email to annvideo11@gmail.com.
Before we say goodbye, here's some good news from the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 14.
The passage says, "If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land."
That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit news.adventist.org for daily news and videos. Until next time, God bless.
Take care.